Well, hello, first graders, parents at home as well. It's Mr. Dale here, and let's just take a few minutes to look at the grammar for this week. We are looking at the verbs do and go, and we're also looking at both of those verbs in the past and in the present. And I did notice that some of the students were having a difficult time with it this week, so I thought I would give an online tutorial or mini lesson to help clarify some of those problems. Well, the first thing is that students need to remember that a verb shows an action. So a verb is an action word. And our action words or our verbs this week are do and go. Well, the students this week are learning that we can show in our writing when an event happened. We can show that an event happened in the past, or we can show that an event happened in the present, and we can even show that an event will happen in the future. And we know that by the way we write the verb. Well, let's look at an example here. I wrote here, I did my homework. Well, when I see that verb did, I know the action happened in the past. And then I wrote here, I do my homework. When I see the verb do, I know that it happened in the present. Now, it's kind of important as well to remember that the present tense can also show that something is done every day. I go to school every day. I walk to the bus every day. My last example was, I will do. When I see will do, I know the event will happen in the future. Well, let's just take a few minutes and look at the present tense form of do. And I wrote on this side here, I do, you do, they do, we do, the students. There's more than one. It's plural. So I'm going to write do. The students do. Bob and Sally. That's two people. So I'm going to write Bob and Sally do. On the other side, I have what we call our third person subjects. So we would say he does, she does, and it does. Remember, these on this side are only one person. So when I have the student, then I would need to say the student does, because it's only one. Bob, there it is again. It's only one. Bob does. Mom does. So if we have one person, we're going to be using does. Well, let's look at some examples. We learned that in the present tense, we need to put an S at the end of the verb with he, she, and it. When we're doing the present tense and we have he, she, or it, we're going to put an S at the end of the verb. She likes pizza. It rains in the spring. Mike walks to school. Susan sits on the ground. My teacher has a dog. She goes to school. He does his homework. Larry has a green shirt. So with subjects he, she, and it, we're either going to put an S at the end of the verb, or we might even change the verb from something like have to has. Well, let's look how we use do in the past tense. Do in the past tense. To make do in the past, we just change it to did. I did. You did. We did. Here as well, he did. She did. It did. In the past tense, the form of do is did. Let's look at the present tense form of go. Remember, in the present tense, we say I go, you go, they go, we go. The students, more than one, so we say the students go. Bob and Sally, there's two, so Bob and Sally go. On this side, remember that we only have one, so we're going to say he goes, she goes. Now, a lot of students were looking at this word goes and saying, oh, that's the past. But it's not the past. It is still the present tense. She goes. It goes. When we have only one person doing it, we're going to say goes, not go. Well, let's look at the past tense for the word go. The past tense for the word go is went. I went. We went. Bob and Sally went. He went. It went, and so on. So let's review quickly. We have the present tense. And the present tense describes something that is happening now. We have the verb go. In the present tense, we can say I go, or I can say he goes. But go and goes are both present tense verbs. Goes is not a past tense verb. If I want to say past tense, I would say he went. Then it would be in the past tense. Let's review for the do verb. We have present tense. We have do. Do in the present tense is either do or does. I do my best. But what if I want to write he? Well, then we would use does. He does his best. Let's just kind of review this. So do in the past tense is did. Go in the past tense is went. Okay? So when we talk about the past tense, do is did, go is went. Thank you so much, and I hope this little tutorial will help students to understand go and do in the present and in the past a little bit better.